To balance the equations, you gotta have what's on the left equivalent to what is on the right. We've written out the formula, we've written out how much of each I have. I have 2 carbon, 4 hydrogen, 2 oxygen on my left. Then I have carbon, 1, hydrogen, 2 of them, and then 3 oxygen on my right. The 3 comes from the 2 plus the 1 on this side. In this instance, I would highly suggest that you work with the most difficult part of the equation first. For this case, it would be the O's because they are split. I have to remember that I want to see what factor is the lowest in both of these. So in 2 and 3, they cannot go into each other evenly, so we have to find the next number, which would be 6. How do I get 6 from 2 and 3? I have to multiply 3 on this side and 2 on this side. I would place 3 here. 3 times 2 is 6. But I want to get 6 on this side, but it's split. There are several ways to approach this. You might have to step back and think a little bit and say which one is going to yield the quickest results, or which one's actually going to give me the number 6 with 2 on this side and then 1 on this side. You would place the 2 here. 2 times 2 is 4. You're missing 2 still. I would place another 2 here. 2 times 2 is 4 plus the 2 would be 6. Remember that when you place numbers in the blank, they affect everything in that particular compound. So in this side, you'll notice that the 2 will also affect the C. So you have 2 carbon, and the 2 will also affect my H. You have 4 hydrogens. 2 times 2. You'll also realize now, stepping back, that your equation is balanced. You have 2 and 2, 4 and 4, 6 and 6. 2 simple steps at the end would be to fill in any missing blanks or to simplify if necessary. You place a 1 here. Because of the 1, you can no longer simplify. I'd like to remind you that this is based on the study of the elements. I would suggest that you have a periodic table, either the one given to you in class, the one in the book, or the one you can find online. Remember that the elements, there's 118 of them according to the periodic table. They're all distinguished, of course, by atomic number and such, but for the purposes of balancing your equations, you can tell them apart by capital letters and lowercase letters. Every new capital letter is a different element, and they're not the same when it comes to balancing. You got carbon, calcium, hydrogen, helium. You got gold, which gives me an example that not all elements have the letters in their name and some of their abbreviations, and you also have compounds that you may recognize and use as shortcuts. Once again, you'll have a quiz on this on Friday. Do not be scared of larger numbers. Sometimes on your homework or on the quiz, you'll notice that some of these blanks will end up with numbers like 12, 15, 20. That's okay if you're following the rules of rewriting your formula, making sure that they're both equivalent